Okay, so thank you all for coming to the webinar. My name is Lee. I'm a customer success manager here at Atera. So thank you for joining. I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues today. I'm joined by two other customer success managers, Abigail and Shayna. And alongside us, we also have a very special guest, Yakov. He's actually our product manager for the entire ticketing aspect of Atera. So he's going to help us out. He's also going to be a part of our Q&A that we're going to have at the end of this meeting. In fact, let me just share my screen and show you what the agenda looks like for today. All right. So first things first, we're going to walk through a couple different important items. And at the end, like custom fields, ticket forms, ticket automation rules, and reporting, these are going to be the primary focus of today's webinar. Today is the advanced ticketing webinar. So these are aspects of the ticketing side of the platform that maybe are a little bit underused. Maybe they require a little bit more in-depth explanation. So that's why we're here today. And at the very end, we're going to have a Q&A with Yakov and try to understand what the future of Atera's ticketing looks like, maybe talk a little bit about the roadmap. So feel free to ask more high-level questions as well, okay? All right, let's get started. I'm gonna hop into the platform. And the first thing that we're going to see is the regular ticketing page that you guys should be all accustomed to. And the first topic that we're going to be discussing are custom fields, okay? So right now you're all pretty much familiar with the flow of how to open a ticket and how to respond to tickets, your daily tasks. But what if you want to go one step further? Maybe you want customers to be, what if you want your technicians to be able to respond to tickets that have additional fields? So here we actually have the option of creating well, here you actually can view different custom fields that you've added to the ticketing page. So we just have some examples, maybe a department view, maybe a Teams view, maybe a form as well. But we're going to show you how exactly you create these custom fields. The way you do it is you go into admin and custom fields. And here you see the custom fields view. And on this page, you have the option of creating custom fields pretty much anywhere within the platform. But today we're going to be focused on the ticketing side, of course. Okay, so here we have the default fields. So these fields are, as the name implies, already existing within your current ticketing. However, you can also make some adjustments. So for example, on the status, you have your normal views, but you also have the option of creating additional statuses, right? So in addition to closed or pending, you can also create custom statuses. Maybe you have a status called awaiting manager approval, and you can assign it to a behavior, whether it be open, pending, or closed, and you can assign it to that ticket, okay? But the real meat and potatoes lies within the actual custom fields that you can add that weren't in there previously. And let's see what those look like. So we have a couple examples on here. We have a product family and a device type, but let's actually create one from scratch to see what it looks like, okay? All right. We're going to click on custom fields, and we're going to choose our target. Obviously, we want to target the ticket page. And now we can choose what kind of field to create, whether it be a text-based field, a number, a checkbox, or maybe a dropdown with dependencies, okay? So let's do an example. Let's maybe do, let's do a checkbox, and maybe let's write manager approval, just as an example, and we can add that. And now, just as we'll go over some other examples, but in the ticket page, we can now see that when we return to the ticket, we'll see that that little box has been added to the ticket page, okay? All right, let's go back and show you some others before we move on. All right, so an example of of a type with a drop-down with dependencies would be the product family category that we've created earlier prior to this meeting. So you can create values and also child values that will populate immediately when you click on the drop-down. So the example here is product family. So you have Office 365, you have a backup software, software installation, hardware, and these are also options that you can add to the ticketing page, okay? So now that we've discussed how we can add custom fields onto regular tickets, it's also important to recognize that custom fields can also be created on the customer portal, which kind of leads us to our next topic, which is ticket forms, okay? So most of you are probably aware that tickets can be created in many ways within Atera. Email is probably the most popular way. However, the next most popular way is through the customer portal, right? So if you provide your users with a customer portal, they'll be able to create tickets through there. And the real benefit here is that you can take advantage of ticket forms, which are ticket templates that you create for your users to fill out. And this can actually help create different processes and also try to dictate how your users can open specific tickets, right? It's pretty hard to explain to a user how you want your ticket opened in an email. So we're going to demonstrate custom fields on there as well. Before we do that, just note that if we want to customize what the customer portal looks like, this is it, by the way, all we would have to do is go into the little pencil icon, and you can say whether or not it's a required field or whether or not it's visible on the customer portal, okay? And the same thing is true for the statuses, right? You can choose whether, you can alter the visibility in the customer portal as well. Okay, so this is what the customer portal looks like. Here they have the option of making the title, the impact, and you can open up a ticket here just like you would with by email. Now the benefit here is that you can use these custom fields in order to alter which ticket form that you'd like to create. So for example, let's go to ticket forms. All right, and let's see what it looks like in order to actually create a ticket form from scratch. Let's select a new template. Here are the default fields that we have available. Now let's say that we want to create a form for customer onboarding, right? So let's call it onboarding form for webinar. And what we can do is we can choose some ticket fields that we can add, right? So this is where the custom fields come in. Your custom fields will populate in these additional fields that you can add on here, right? So let's take an example, right? We want to onboard our customers, so maybe add a product family because maybe we want Office 365. Maybe we want to specify which department that they're in, maybe which device type as well. Maybe they prefer a Windows machine, maybe a Mac. And let's just create that. Okay, so now back in our portal, let's sort of refresh just to make sure. Okay, now that we're back here, we can go into the forms page, and we actually see our onboarding form can appear. And when we click on it, all the different fields that I've specified will be on here, including the product family with the dropdown. So maybe we want to add that Microsoft 365. Maybe it's a sales user, so maybe they use PowerPoint a lot. We can enter the information. Let's just show you what that looks like. Request. And let's save. The ticket was created. Now, when we go back into the tickets page, we'll see that the ticket was created with the ticket form that we specified, okay? All right, so now let's move on to the next topic, which are ticket automation rules, okay? So what are ticket automation rules? Ticket automation rules are different sets of automations that you can assign to your ticketing system in order to automate certain behaviors, right? So there are a lot of examples for ticket automation rules. So we're going to go over through a couple of them today. All right. So let's make an example of a rule. Let's make an example with a time-based ticket rule. So let's say that you want to escalate a ticket to a manager if the status is open for more than a week, just as an example. So let's go to a new rule. Let's call it escalate to manager. We can give it a description. So let's give it a quick description. Exceeds week. All right. And we want the trigger to for that to be if status changed, right? Because we're kind of assuming that the status hasn't changed, right? So you kind of have to think about it both ways. Let's click add. And now let's sort of think about how we can create ticket automation rules. You can think of these as basically if and statements. It is how best to think about it, right? So let's go to the ticket property and let's go to status, right? Because we're trying to think of this as the status that hasn't changed, right? So we'll click on equals and then let's go to open, right? Because the ticket is still open. Let's add that it has to match. Okay, so now that we've added one condition, right? This the ticket status equals open. Okay, but now we want to specify that we also want it to happen after a week. So let's add another condition. So we can click add, and now let's go to hours since a status changed. Okay, and let's do equals and open. I did a little bit of math before this webinar, so I know that 1 week is 168 hours, and we can add. There we go. So we have these different conditions. Now that we've specified our conditions, we can specify the action type. So let's set a field value. And now let's find technician. And the value should be to select the admin, the manager. So in this instance, let's just choose myself. And we click add. Okay, and now the rule is ready to go. So now whenever a ticket will remain open for this amount of time, this technician will be notified. Okay, so that's just one rule of how to utilize ticket automation rules. We have a whole different, we have so many different examples of different actions that you can do. Let's go over one more. Okay, so let's do kind of a pretty simple one. Let's say that you want to assign a ticket based on a keyword, okay, or maybe based on a destination email. So let's do something like that. Assign ticket based on keywords. Okay, and for the description, let's just put the same thing in for now. Trigger new ticket created, right? Because we're categorizing the ticket when it's created. And let's click add. Okay, so for the ticket property, let's choose the destination email. Hold on. Okay, so instead, let's actually do the destination email, and then we can do the ticket title. We can do equals, and then let's say that we want to choose which support address it wants to come from, must match, and now we can assign a value, technician, and now depending on the email address that the ticket came from, we can automatically assign it to this person. Okay, great. So now So now that we've been able to do that, let's sort of move on to some additional examples. So one other thing that we want to specify is that one other property of the ticket automation rules is that you can actually send email templates with these, so more automated actions. So I just want to show you that real quick. Right, so email templates can be created within Atera. You can have a dropdown, and obviously you can have a snippet list. You can create a subject matter, and you can choose exactly which tickets to create and which tickets to add to ticket automation rules, okay? All right. Now we're going to be hopping into the next topic, which is some reporting, okay? So now that we've understood, how to be able to create tickets with custom fields, and also to be able to use custom how to use ticket forms, and also to use ticket automation rules, let's try to understand how we track all of this within Atera's reporting system. Okay. So we have multiple different tiers of reporting within Atera. We have the classic reports, which everybody knows and should be familiar with. We also have advanced reports. Advanced reports can be found on the second tier or higher of Atera plans. Let's take a look at what that looks like. We have a couple different pre-built reports on the advanced reports page, but let's give you this example. So here we have a customer tickets overview, and with a whole bunch of different helpful numbers and graphs. But let's say that we want to make a filter where we want to see a ticket between a certain amount of days. We can choose a different range. So maybe we want to do, let's see, maybe in this month of March of 2024. And we can also select the different priority of tickets. And maybe we can also select the severity. Well, we don't have one over here, but we can choose the customer name as well. We can run the report, and we can get those specified information. Okay, so that's sort of a very basic way of using the advanced reporting in order to try to understand what the customer tickets look like. But what I'd also like to demonstrate is how to use an additional form of reporting called custom reporting. So custom reporting can be found on the third tier or higher of plans, and it allows you to create reports from scratch with the databases found within Atera. So the way to do it is to click on New Report, and here you would select which database to work with. So we have databases that relate to the agents, to the devices, to the tickets. So you can use this ticket, the ticket in order to try to create ticket reports from scratch. But let's for now actually focus on ticket custom fields, okay? Because we already talked about custom fields, and we can do something a little bit more complex. So this is to try to demonstrate how you can create reports from the custom fields that you can create within the platform. Okay. Okay, so for those who are familiar with Looker, which is Google's BI tool, you're going to feel right at home here. And for those who aren't familiar with it, don't panic. It's not as scary as it looks. All the fields are listed out in a very handy way with drop downs, and you can also search for whatever fields that you'd like. So let's give an example. Let's say that I want to create a ticketing report with some really important information. So what are some ticket fields that we think are important? Let's look for a report with ticket created date, because we want to know when the ticket was created. So we can click on date. Let's look for another one. Let's look for the ticket number. Right, we're trying to get a whole bunch of different information onto this report, and we can add that. So every time you click on a field, it'll add to the report, and then at the end, we'll just run the report. Okay. Now let's look for ticket priority. and click on that. And let's add one more, ticket title. Okay. And now let's run to see what that looks like. Okay, and we have a report that shows the date of the creation, the ticket number, and the priority of the priority of the ticket and the ticket title. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like in terms of. Actually, let's show you that right now. So you can save the report to a new dashboard or to an existing dashboard. I'll show you what that looks like very soon. You can save and schedule the report, right? So when you want this report to go out, you can, of course, download it right to your computer. You can immediately remove fields, and you can also refresh your view. Okay, so let's say that this is very nice, but let's say that we actually want to view custom fields as well, not just the fields that are already built into the platform. So how do we do that? Let's take a look. So let's go for field name. We're trying to understand the fields here. Let's click on that. And now hold on, take custom fields. And let's also do field value. And let's pivot the report as well to try to get a better view of that. And so there's that. And let's also do one more other thing. Remember when we showed off the product value custom field? So let's actually try to look for that. So let's look for ticket custom fields, and let's select field name, and let's look for product family. Okay, and now let's run this report to see what we get. Let's close this off to get a better view. All right, and now, as you can see, we have this new report that shows not only the fields that are included within the ticketing database, but also the custom fields that we've added to our tickets. Right, so here you get a really high-level view of what your ticketing looks like. So let's show an example of what that looks like. Let's actually save to an existing dashboard. Let's go to a group, and let's go to my dashboard, and we'll save that. And I'll show you what that looks like. And here, you can go to my dashboard, and this is sort of like a little command center where you can try to see all of your different custom reports that you've created. Right, I have one for antivirus, I have one for a personal ticketing dashboard here, and I've also have one for tickets with custom fields, which is the one that I've just created. Right, so it has the product family, it has all the different ticket attributes, and that's it. So now I can save, and now I have this at my disposal at all times. I can favorite it. I can take advantage of this, and it's a really, really handy feature. Okay, and with that, we've pretty much covered all the major topics that I wanted to cover. So now we have a little bit of time for Q&A. So I'm going to tag in our PM, Yakov, and he's going to help us with some questions. All right. Do we have anything interesting?
Awesome. Thank you, Lee. We did have some questions during the webinar. We've already answered all of them. But if you guys have anything else, any roadmap questions, any functional questions, we would love to take those as well. So drop them in the Q&A section. Looking forward to them.
Keep in mind, this is a good opportunity to ask not just functionality questions, but high-level questions. It's not every day that we get Yakov on a call, so let's take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe there are features that you're not sure are in the platform, and you want to check if they're there. Maybe some of their functionalities that you're wondering if they're on the roadmap or not.
I will take a moment while we're waiting to show a couple of other things that we're able to do in the platform, which relate to what you guys were showing, to what Lee was showing. Just need to figure out where I can share my screen in this platform.
On the left, you have a screen.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And also, not to interrupt, but maybe you could also talk a little bit about the upcoming Teams integration.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Looks like I need to give this app some permissions. So just a moment. I will actually have to log in again, so I'll be here in a second.
No worries.
Just to reopen my web browser. Okay, see you in a second.
Yep. Okay. Really appreciate the whole team over at Atera. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Very well. Let's see what other things that we've got on here. Can you make certain fields mandatory? Absolutely, yes. So on the field itself, there is a place to select it if you want the field to be mandatory or not, both on the customer portal and on the ticketing page. I see Yaki is back with us.
Hey everybody, I am back. Just logging into my Atera instance. Okay, perfect. And now I should be able to share my screen. Nice. All right, so there was a question during the presentation from Mo, I believe, which was talking about custom fields. And what I wanted to show you is that when you're creating your different forms, you can choose one of the forms to be the default one. So for example, here I will choose this form that I call default as my default one, because I chose not to have any custom fields in it. That way, whenever you're getting tickets from an email or any other external services, you'll make sure you don't have any custom fields, because obviously when something comes in from an email, your clients, your users can't really choose the form. But then once you or any of the technicians open a ticket manually, or if someone does it from the portal, you can then choose, for example, I have an equipment request form here, and then you will have the relevant fields. So it's a best practice that we recommend here. Did we have any other questions? Hamza is asking, how do ticket types work? Do you have options such as incident, problem, request and change? So yeah, absolutely. We follow the ITIL protocol. So when you're opening a ticket, or if you go into any of your existing ones, you will see the incident, problem, request, and change values in there. Sean, did you answer Sean's question? Lee?
No, I don't think I got to Sean's question. Is there a way to change? No, no, I don't think so.
Cool. So Sean was asking, is there any way to change what metrics display on the Atera dashboard for tickets? So the dashboard itself is customizable. From all of these elements can be changed in their size and in their location. You can play around with them. You can also turn off some of the modules that are less interesting for you. From these three dots, you can also reset to the default. And this is the view per technician. Also on the roadmap, we want to introduce the ability to customize these widgets, insert new ones, and we're constantly working on improving this. So if you have any suggestions, we also have a very good features board. For those of you who don't know, still trialing Atera, or if you're just not aware, you can press your avatar here and go to the features board. And over there, you will see everything that's being discussed by the community. We constantly, us, the product managers and the customer success team, we look at it, and we obviously prioritize a lot of the development based on
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. We do have another question. Do you have recommendations for setting up the ticketing system for the first time? So first off, what I would recommend is definitely going into the email settings and specifying your support email address. There you have the ability in order to generate the process of which tickets are generated through email. So we'll be able to send a knowledge base article for that. We also have another knowledge base article in how to set up the customer portal. And in addition to those two, we also have another way of creating a ticket that I think is very handy called the help desk agent, which allows you to create tickets through the app tray icon. So all of those are available. All those explanations are available in our knowledge base. And if one of you could send those, that would be great. So it looks like we have a new user here. So welcome aboard.
I will also say, Christopher, I'm all up for automation. So thinking about the processes that you guys want to, expedite and streamline in your business. Anything that needs special treatment, emails coming in from specific people in the organizations, VIPs. If you guys have expertise inside the company, that's the automation rules are also a great way to look at that. And as we mentioned, the custom statuses, all those things can really help, and also help you get better analytics about what is happening in the organization and what you guys are, dealing with. And I think having that strong foundation in the beginning as you're building out your help desk is very crucial, because it becomes a lot harder to change once the team grows and people are used to work in a certain way. So definitely look into those things in the beginning and reach out to us if you have any questions about how to do those things.
All right. I see someone has a request to get a quick overview of what the Teams integration is going to look like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is coming from Tom. Let me see if I have it open. Yeah. You guys are seeing just my tab, so I'll share the entire screen. Okay. So this is a sneak peek to our Microsoft Teams integration. It's almost out in beta. We're very excited about this. So we're looking at Microsoft Teams right now, and the integration is intended for end users, your users. Basically, we've built an app, which is like a bot. The user logs in, and then they're being welcomed. This is the organization name, Acme Group, but it's going to be your organization name. And then they can choose what they want to do. So either creating a ticket or viewing the recent tickets. So first, let's try to create one. Provide a title, which is hopefully informative and allows you to do something actionable. So I'll be nice. I'll say my computer's slow. And then a description. I tried restarting it, but it didn't work. And click submit. And then the user will be prompted that the ticket is created. Hopefully it works. As I said, it's still in testing. I see it's taking a little time. Oh, something went wrong. Let's try again. This is the proof that we're doing this live. It's not pre-recorded. There we go. Thanks. The ticket was created, and now we can go back to Atera, to our tickets list. And hopefully, again, this is live. I see the ticket was created twice, so we had the wrong indication. But this is the first one I tried to open, and we have a title, as we said, and the text that the user wrote. From here, the technician can obviously respond, and then we're sending a webhook to the end user to let them know, hey, there's a new comment on your ticket. That way they're notified immediately in Teams and they can write back to you guys, and you can sort of have a back and forth. And as you saw, another thing we can do is either create a new ticket or go back to the main menu. And from there, we can also look at our tickets. So by clicking view tickets, the user can specify a specific ticket they want to look at or seeing all of their tickets. And this is a little buggy. We're still working on cleaning this HTML, but you can see some of the tickets that I have open, and we can also see the ticket we just opened, this one that says my computer is slow. The last comment was I tried restarting it, but it didn't work. And from here, the end user can also add another comment if they want to. TJ is rightfully asking, is there an additional fee for the Teams add-on? So as I said, this is still in testing, and the commercial side of things is also not finalized. So I do not have a final answer for you, but we'll be sure to update once we go to beta testing and releasing this out there. Cool. Any other questions, guys? Did we miss anything in the meantime? Jared asked, we got 2 tickets created. When one comes in, where can we check to fix this? Jared, I would say reach out to our support team. They're available 24/7. I don't know if you have yet. You can open a live chat or email them at support@Atera, but I would do the live chat. They're very, very fast, and it sounds like a bug. Shouldn't happen.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else? We're coming up a little bit on time, but we probably have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions, if you guys have any. Let's see. And just as a heads up, if you have any questions about anything that you've seen today, any of these features, feel free to reach out either to support or also to your dedicated customer success manager, and they'd be happy to walk you through how to perform specific actions or set up specific automations. All of our team members are well versed in these topics, so they'll be able to help you accomplish what you want to do.
Maybe if do we have 1 more minute? We can show
Yeah.
another exciting development we're working on, which is ticket queues. Could be interesting to some of the larger folks out there with larger teams.
It's a great idea.
So I'll share my screen again. There we go. So this is a very exciting feature. I'm very excited for this one. Again, still in development, but hopefully out soon. We're giving the option to create groups of technicians. So this could be there are 2 use cases in this for this particular feature. One would be the larger teams out there that have teams like a tier 1, tier 2 sales group type of situation. So here I have a tier 1 group. I gave them a description and I added a bunch of technicians to the tier 1 group. But I know some of our customers are waiting for this feature to because they work based on proficiencies of users. So they would want to have a group of people doing software, a group of people doing hardware problems, people doing the onboarding and offboarding of users. And that will also be possible by creating those different groups. And then once a ticket comes in, let's say this one says my computer is very slow, I can assign it to the tier 1 group, and from there assign it to the relevant technician. And this is going to be very good because it's going to be connected to the automation rules. So you can also streamline all of these processes. So if a ticket is incoming to the sales group, or if you want to have all the tickets by default go into tier 1, or having the HR sort of work on their queues, that will be possible. Down the line, we're going to introduce round robins to those groups, and sort of automatic dispatching from within the group. And then each person in the filters and in the different views can look at the tickets belonging to their to the groups that they belong to. So also a very exciting feature to look forward to.
All right, thank you for that. And I think that's pretty much it for questions. I don't see any more. So with that, it seems like...
Sorry, I think there's a question that came on the roadmap for Linux development to match the features available for Windows. So,
yeah, so we're actually we have some. Do you want to answer that, Abby? Sorry.
I'm not sure, so maybe you will have a bit more insights on that.
Yeah, so for the guys who are here for a longer time, we have a Linux agent. It's been out there for I think about 2 years now, and we're constantly adding more functionality to it. So this quarter, we've added AnyDesk for Linux devices. We've added Linux patching, automatic patching to Linux devices. We're also going to add Splashtop for remote connection. And there's going to be more and more improvements. If there's anything specific you're looking to see, let us know as well.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Yaki. And I know, Dion Martinez also asked about any roadmap for the PSA integration with IT Glue. Currently, right now we have with RMM. Anything on the roadmap, Yaki?
Right. So again, for those of you who don't know, Atera integrates with IT Glue, which is a very good solution. You can see the documentation on our website and theirs. We haven't considered the integration, but we're always looking for new stuff. So definitely something to look into. Again, I would encourage you to put it on the features board. That way it gets traction, and then we are looking into it.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure having you guys attend the webinar. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your designated customer success manager. It was great having you all here today. And until next time. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.